All right, welcome to another edition of Thunder and Lightning. Just like CM Punk, I'm back. Nikki's back. The Giants have a 2-game winning streak. My Tommy DeVito jersey is here in the flesh. I paid way too much money, and I told my wife about it on our anniversary dinner. Could have gone better. Could have went smoother. Thankfully,
Oh,
I told her it was the FanDuel money, so she was okay. So,
okay.
Nikki,
Yeah.
can we do our new tradition? What's up, babe? How we doing tonight?
I'm good. I stupidly got my lips done today, like a couple
Oh,
of hours ago before I had to come on here. So if I talk a little weird tonight, that's why.
okay. But pain is beauty, as you know. That's
Pain
what you
is
like to say.
beauty. The swelling will go down in a couple days, but maybe next time I don't schedule it on a day that I have to do a podcast.
Okay, so who's tougher, Bobby Okereke with a broken rib, or Nick with lip injections?
I'm going to say me because unless you've had needles shoved into your lips, I mean, it's not exactly the most pleasant feeling. I mean, they look great when they settle, just as any procedure does. But I'm going to say me because have you ever had needles shoved in your face or in your lips?
No, but I actually have had. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I have.
You've had lip injections? Oh, great.
Yeah, no, I've had other things done, unfortunately. But Buddy, Victory Monday. I'll get into Buddy later. It was nice seeing him this weekend and his kid and his wife. It was awesome to see his son.
Oh, right. You told me the story.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
We'll get into
welcome, buddy. Welcome.
So we'll get into that later. So the New York Giants won a 10-7 victory against the New England Patriots. It wasn't our New England Patriots, New York Giants classic matchups from Super Bowl 42 or 46, to say the least. But the New York Giants did pull out the win by the New England Patriots shanking a game-tying field goal with less than 10 seconds left.
And thank God, because really, who wanted that to go to overtime?
Oh, I was saying it. You were ignoring me in the text. I'm like, oh, this game's going.
I didn't want to like manifest that. I didn't want to put that out into the universe.
Right. So, wasn't really much to really talk about other than your boy Jalen Hyatt on the offensive side, 100 yards. Amazing what happens when we are able to push the ball to him. Magic things happen, and it was great to see him actually making a play. His last catch was it wasn't a fly route, so it was actually really nice to see. And I was watching the game with Justin. We sat together yesterday, and it was like, why don't they just try to just get high at the ball? You know, I mean, like, I know he isn't the most crispest runner of the routes, but honestly, at this rate in the season, why not? Next play, I should be the offensive coordinator. But
I've told you guys since the spring that Hyatt was a special kind of kid and he had a lot of talent. Of course I got told I didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, that's silly because he did win the best wide receiver in college last year. So,
but you know how this fan base is.
But that's obviously here or there. Obviously, he's raw for a reason. He's a third-round pick, obviously, but he's obviously not a scrub.
Got a lot of talent, and
So
listen. Nobody loves checking into the Hyatt more than me.
Right.
I don't have a brand deal yet. Where's my brand deal?
I don't know. We got to call them up and see. But it was all Nick at Giant Stadium yesterday. Britney Spears, Oops, I Did It Again after the third interception.
Excellent song choice.
I texted you right away once I heard it. Justin was singing it. I was singing it too.
Of course you were. Oops, I Did It Again is a bop.
It is a bop, and I've told you funny stories about that song. Man, 8th grade was a wild time for that song.
Ooh, 8th grade. Watch out. 8th grade, I'm convinced, is a pivotal year for some of these men in our fan base because what I think happened is like they got rejected at the 8th grade dance and they've never recovered. And so therefore, they take it all out on women in their adult life.
Yeah, we'll get into that later as well. Before I forget, I didn't want to forget this. Unfortunately, a member of the Giants community did pass away in Pest. I had the pleasure of meeting him a few times. He would come by the tailgate every now and then. he wasn't exactly one of my best friends, but every time I did run into him, he said what's up and we dapped. But when I found out he had cancer a couple of weeks ago, I did hit him up and we talked really briefly. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk more about any life in the Giants, unfortunately. So that was terrible news to find out yesterday. So big rest in peace to Pest, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family as well. So yeah, it's sad. It's sad to hear, especially when it's cancer. Obviously, with me, it's like it hits close to home. But yeah, rest in peace, Pest. All right, so we're finally at the bye week. We're gonna get to that. The Giants are 8-4. Obviously, it's not the record we wanted to be. But
8-4.
Oh, I wish we were 8-4. We're 4-8.
I was gonna say, I wish
the dyslexia hit me there. All right.
I bet there's a lot of people that don't want us to be 8-4 though.
Yeah, well.
Tank Crew is malfunctioning.
Oh, Tank Crew is
I love to see it.
All right. So we're just gonna jump into it about Tank Crew. Let's be short about it because we did talk about it last week. I think at the end of the day, Tank Crew obviously was watching the games, but it wasn't like the Giants were flat out tanking for us to be like, oh my God, I can't believe we won this game type of thing. I think it was more of a Patriots loss than a Giants win. So if anything, I think you should really, at the end of the day, be mad at the Patriots for choking and just playing terribly. They had Mac Jones not even being able to throw at the numbers. And like, honestly, if Bailey Zappi played the whole game, we probably would have lost. And if they decided to run the ball, we couldn't stop the run either. So, honestly, thank you, Patriots, for a win. Honestly, if you're going to be mad at anybody, it should be the Patriots because the Giants just played. They didn't play anything out of the ordinary. They didn't play, oh, my God, like the 85 Bears or the 2007 Patriots. Like, I don't understand the craziness of the whole, oh, my God, I can't believe the Giants won. If you watch the game, which I know all you did, like we got to step off the ledge a bit. Like it would have been one thing if we won in the last second, but we basically had the lead the whole entire game. It wasn't like we obviously towards the end with a missed chip shot field goal, the game would have been tied. But I think we had the grasp of the lead the whole entire game, other than the first quarter. So. The reaction to that was kind of crazy to see. And then just Buddy Brown, like I mentioned, this guy comes from North Carolina. Let's just face it. I'm sorry, Buddy, but you're my boy, so I'm able to say it. He's from like the deepest depths of the country in North Carolina. So take that for what it's worth. It's not like he's able to. It's great that he's able to take his family and his wife to New York and / New Jersey for a Giant game. We know how expensive it is, and we know it is living up here how expensive it is. So the fact that he was able to bring up his kid and wife to enjoy a Giants win was obviously the moment of my day, because when I saw Paxton at the end of the day, you saw the grin from ear to ear of like, the Giants won a game. I just drove 8 hours and the Giants won a game. This is the first time I've been up here in 3 years and I actually saw the Giants win. And like, that was like a Christmas moment for me, seeing Paxton, like I finally saw the Giants won. Like, this is awesome. And like, that made my day, seeing Buddy and his wife, like, smiling, just like I just drove up 8 hours.
You're not allowed to be happy though. There's no smiling.
No smiling.
You can't be happy that your team won. You guys aren't allowed to,
right?
You know?
So like,
you get called like crazy names. Like Danny said, like reevaluate your life, step back from the ledge, and seek mental help. Really,
yeah. It's just weird, and it's from people. I love you too, buddy. And it's from people. It's from people that you're like, you have real life conversations with on a daily basis.
Yeah,
and you're just like, I know we're out of the top 2 draft pick, but it is also November 27th, 26th, and it's just like, we were going to win a couple more games. It was just the fact of the matter. It's just, if you watched yesterday's game, we were unfortunately going to win if that was your scenario of
these are
approach.
the same people who, when the schedule came out, went through it and they were like, oh, we're going to win against the Patriots. You know, we're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys picked that game out to win, and then you get mad that we won. Like, I just cannot imagine putting this much time, energy, effort, and vitriol into coming at people who went to the game, who are happy for the win, families that went there, kids that are there that were happy to see their team win. You know, they look up to some of these athletes. So don't take that away from them.
Paxton had a Tommy DeVito jersey yesterday.
Yeah, and it's like really sick. Like, you know what really gets me, Danny, though, is like the sick shit that people say over something as stupid as you know, they're mad because the Giants won because of a draft pick. Like, you really will call people the worst names in the world.
And it's just the way the world is right now. Unfortunately, everything is politicalized, and everything is like there's no gray area when in fact majority of the people are in that gray area that are able to take steps back and understand what both sides of the party, per se, in the Giants case, is what's really going on. So, like, I tried to stay away from Twitter. Thank God it took me almost 2 hours to get home last night. I tweeted the community gif that of Childish Gambino of like walking in the door with pizza and the whole like room is up in flames and everything else like
that. Because this whole fan base is up in flames.
Well, there's a reason why we were ranked 32 out of 32 teams of intelligence from both sides. But that's enough, buddy. I'm glad you guys. I'm sure you guys made it home safe today, so I'm glad you guys did that. I love seeing you every year, that one game a year. So that's that. So today we had 2 press conferences. The Daboll press conference, which I didn't hear, but it seemed like it was the standard Daboll press conference.
It was.
And the Joe Schoen press conference, we only get to hear him once or twice a year. So that's the more of the important thing to listen to. Obviously, he's not going to really tell you much, but you need to listen to the cues in certain ways he says things. So Nikki has the transcripts. Nikki, hit me with what line you want to talk about, and I will try to translate for you what Joe Schoen tried to say in this given situation.
All right. Well, why don't we start with one of the obvious about drafting a quarterback. You know, the media was really trying to get him to say, you know, we are not drafting a quarterback, to get an answer one way or the other. So he did say when Daniel Jones is healthy, is expected that he is our starting quarterback. One, I don't know why that's news to anybody, right?
Right. That's not news. He's still on the contract.
Correct. 2, he did also say, so I love how people just want to like tweet out and just send out that tiny little news clip. But he did also say at some point they will address the quarterback situation. So they're not sure. They're not sure. He actually said, I don't have a crystal ball on when Daniel Jones's rehab, right? Or when he's going to be ready. Tyrod Taylor's contract is up. So you just have DeVito right now. So he said either via free agency or the draft, they will at some point address the quarterback position. So with that answer, how do you take that? What do you think?
The way I take it is, like we mentioned before, Daniel Jones still under contract for next season.
Right.
It's a crapshoot in terms of everybody's knee is different. We can see Daniel Jones be back by, let's say, first day of training camp. Or we can see him on Twitter working out with his off-season coordinating coaches and everything else like that. Or he can unfortunately take a lot longer and not be ready for either. But knowing how hard Daniel works, and he even said that we have to protect Daniel from Daniel because we know how hard Daniel works.
Right.
I think he took it a nice political. He works for a political office answer with. We'll see what happens with free agency / draft, because obviously he's not going to tip his hand on players he likes in either situation. Because
and I don't know why people think he would.
I think people just forget and just like maybe pray that Dave Gettleman turns into Dave Gettleman and he like shows his poker hand. I don't really get that part.
Yeah. We didn't sign him to trade him, right?
Right. With Gettleman, it was always tipping, and that's ultimately why we didn't end up getting Devontae Smith from the Eagles. So
Right. Well, I don't know what people expected Joe Schoen to say. I mean, you can say it's a political answer, but it's really like the only acceptable answer. And it's the truth. Like Tyrod Taylor's contract is done. Daniel Jones will be here. Tommy DeVito is living his best life right now, but I don't think they're going to roll with him for the long term.
So unless some magical way he runs the table the rest of the season.
Imagine if he does that. Oh my God.
And that's including 2 Eagle games. I mean, that will be some fairy tale stuff, and just like that puts Linsanity times.
Oh my God! You remember Linsanity? Yes.
Right. We're in our little Linsanity moment.
Little bit, yeah.
But to that extreme, it's like Linsanity was. Jeremy Lin was sleeping on Landry Fields' couch, and he was about to get cut, and then he went off that night. Like that's how much similar this whole situation is. Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens. We're not saying that would happen. Obviously, the schedule is stacked up against that, but we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball, like Joe mentioned, but like that would be obviously insane if we were to find a way to go 8-9 and sneak into the playoffs. God forbid, that would be insane.
Oh, that can't happen. Oh my God. People might jump off bridges actually if that happened. God.
But
we're not allowed to have anything happen.
All jokes aside, that would be crazy and crystal ballish. But all right, next question.
Okay, what about Evan Neal?
Evan Neal, I thought that was really thought that was a nice approach. That was we're not giving up on you, Evan. You're going to have to figure this out one way or the other because we're not moving you to guard.
No, they are not. They made that very clear. So
so I was hammering that, not so much hammering it. I was like more of a suggestion because I know nothing type of thing. Like knowing that we have 3 more years left of him potentially.
Right.
Kind of thing of like we need to do something with him. I'm up for literally anything. So the ball's in your court, Evan. Hopefully you get back healthy, and like obviously a lot stacked up against you for what you said earlier in the year. I don't care about that anymore. I just want you to play good and win. So I'm over it. I know a lot of people probably aren't and never will, and that's their prerogative. But hopefully he wakes up and shows up, and the technique and him learning, and maybe Bobby Johnson is fired at the end of the year, or he finds a way to put a spark in him. I don't know that much of that part of that detailed oriented stuff, but hopefully Evan Neal shows up. He's a top 7 pick, so.
But it just goes to show you guys, sometimes it doesn't matter where you draft and who you draft. They don't always work out. So calm the F down.
And he mentioned
nut job people who are just coming at me left and right. You're like gnats or flies, and I just can't like swat enough of that. What is that game? Whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole. That's
what it's like. It's like once you whack them, another friggin' nut job pops right back up to tell you like, did you know that I'm sleeping with the Giants front office?
That's obviously news to me. So I know pretty much
Me too. I want to know if it's good or not.
Well, obviously that's something we have to figure out. So I basically know every moment of your day, and I've basically never filled that in. So I'm like your assistant.
Apparently.
I'm like your assistant. So this is the first time I heard about it. So honestly, good job keeping it a secret.
Yeah, keeping it a secret a long time. Someone found me out. Joe Schoen is annoyed with all the injuries, though. That is something that he did, hammer in there today in his press conference. And we will touch on the elephant in the room. He said he was unaware of the report that Jay Glazer gave, that there's tension between Brian Daboll and Wink Martindale. And then he basically said, to the media, hey, I'm just going to refer to, defer to Dabes on that. You guys just talked to him. You just asked him. That's it. I don't know anything of this report. I didn't see it.
Okay. So let's first off hit the Jay Glazer part of the scenario. Jay Glazer is the man. I love Jay Glazer. He isn't a guy that's going for hot takes.
Right. He's not.
So when there's smoke, there is some sort of fire.
Right.
When it's coming from Jay Glazer and he knows the Giants, his best friend's Michael Strahan. On top of that, he knows the walls of Giants. So whenever he mentions anything about the Giants, you got to listen up.
Right.
Like anybody else, me and Nikki included, me and Nikki curse at each other. We yell at each other. It could be the toughest day. At the end of the day, if something's not getting done by either one of us, the other person has no problem telling the other person to step the fuck up. You're not doing something right. That type of thing. That's that kind of relationship. Obviously, when you're 2-7, 2-6, and you're losing and your defense is giving up 600 yards against your division rival that you have not beat yet as a New York Football Giant head coach, you're going to be mad and you're going to be testy and a lot's going on and this job is very pressureful. So I think it's more of the losing situation of competitiveness between the two of them. Like I just mentioned, you and me have gone through it. And at the end of the day, all right, we both, well, mostly me because you're a woman and don't apologize. But
I'm never wrong. What are you talking about?
I mean, let's not toot your own horn about that. But
I'll toot my own horn. Nobody else is tooting my horn, so I gotta toot my own horn.
Anyway, I was kidding. Of course, at the end of the day, you and me both find a way to apologize to each other after testiness from both of us.
Well, look, I think it's like any right. Coworker relationship, right? You 100%. Spend all this time with your coworkers, sometimes more than your family, especially in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So, you're going to get into it with each other. You're going to annoy each other sometimes. And listen, there's weeks where the defense is really stepping it up and the offense is squandering it away. I can understand why there would be tension, but these are also grown adults. And I think maybe just a couple conversations might need to be had to hash stuff out.
Maybe at the end of the year, Wink's just like, I had enough, and maybe they end up going their separate ways. It would be unfortunate because I would love to see Wink stay with us, obviously. Yeah. So, but like when Jay Glazer says something, you gotta listen to it. So
yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp where there's smoke, there's fire. Right. I know everybody's kind of like, well, how come the beat reporters didn't report on this?
I mean, that's just the beat reporters not doing a lot of things.
So. Yeah, they're not. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to.
No, you're not allowed to say anything.
I'm just going to leave it at that. But
I'm allowed to say it.
You can say it. But Brian Dable did say that he did meet with Wink and they had donuts.
Well, that's nice. And see, the funniest way to diffuse it, he said, the only time me and him have argued is for the last slice of pizza. And me being a fat fuck, it is very stressful trying to get the last piece of pizza. Let's be all real. It's because, fuck, I really want that last slice. Okay, you're going to be nice about it. Unless it's your friend. You're like, type of thing.
It depends who the friend is. Because then I feel like you can go in for the last piece of, like, if you really like it. Like, I love soft pretzels. So if there was, like, one little piece left, I would hope people that know me well would be like, Nikki, you can have it because you just don't really ever eat. So.
Well, yeah. You'd be like, all right, you look malnourished. You need something.
You look malnourished. But Brian Dable also, he was asked, so you gave the game ball to Wink. And he said, basically, so what? I've done that before. I don't know. I don't know. I think sometimes people read too much into things, but I am in this camp of, consider the source. This time it came from Jay Glazer. Jay Glazer doesn't report anything that he doesn't have 100% facts on. So, The amount of tension maybe could be debated. Maybe it was just a little tiff for a couple weeks, and just like any relationship, you go through it and you get over it and you move on. Or it's just irreparable and that's it, and Wink's not going to be here next season. I've been around the team for 2 years now. I think they can probably work out whatever it is.
I think so too. But like I said, the sources isn't like the ball boy. It's like it's someone up
sources.
in the
I love
top.
when people do that. I have a source. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, but Jay Glazer has a real source, and it's someone up in the front office type of source.
And I think we all know who it might be.
Well, that's for us to know.
I have my speculations, as does everybody else.
Right.
It's probably the person I'm sleeping with. Ooh. I'm the source, everyone.
Yeah, then what are we doing here with a couple of listeners if you're the queen source?
Yeah, I wish.
All right. We got 4 minutes. We're on the bye week. We're gonna have a fun show next week. We're gonna have actually a girl talk,
ladies' night next week
instead of Sunday Sauce with Schoen and Joe. My accent popped out on that.
Yeah, it did.
All that Tommy DeVito Jersey sauce. There you go.
Because you ate chicken cutlets last night.
I did. It was so good. Yeah, so we're gonna have our 2 female friends come on. It's gonna be a nice curveball, like different from Joe and Sean, like we've had the last couple of times. Get the female perspective other than Nikki's about the New York Football Giants to start the season and what we're gonna look forward to the last 5 games of the year. Before we leave, we'll do Nikki's smash or pass. Before the smash or pass part, Thanksgiving good? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. We had a good time.
Glad to hear it. Yeah. All right. So tonight's smash or pass, I think this is going to be a lame one, but it's a layup, so you might get it right today, because I know
it's just opinions, though. There's no wrong answer to smash or pass.
Okay. But I know your coffee order recently, and I think
the whole world does.
Right. Can I just say the thing already?
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Shit. All right. So it's Christmas time. I saw your tree is up. My tree's up. Right. Candy canes, smash or pass?
Okay. If they're crushed up on like some peppermint bark, yes. But like, I'm just not eating candy canes.
Okay. It's fair.
Are
you like the person that like when you do eat a candy cane, like you like gnaw it down all the way to
and they like make like a little sharp shank out of it? No, were you that kid?
No, I do not have the time or energy, and if you know me, how lazy I am, that I would never do something like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't really like walk around eating candy canes, but it is crushed up. You know, the Williams-Sonoma peppermint bark, which is absolutely bomb. They do crush up like some candy cane on top, and I'm okay with that. But no, I don't just like suck on candy canes.
Okay, but do you like candy canes, smash or pass?
Like just in its own form, pass.
Look at you. I made a layup tonight. Look at you. Thank you.
What? Why'd you make a layup?
It was a nice layup tonight. It was a nice layup. Your lips are hurting. I feel bad. Made you feel
bad.
Good. I don't feel bad at all because it's self-inflicted. But.
It's self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted. Self-inflicted pain. Yes. So Mark will eat a candy cane. Oh, he'll bite right into it. Joe likes cherry flavored candy canes.
I'm a traditional peppermint.
Now we're getting crazy because there are like fruit flavored candy canes and like I don't know.
Tropical
do you do all
ones
that?
And everything else.
They're what? Chocolate one? Oh.
No, tropical.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. But I will have an iced peppermint mocha. As everyone knows,
which we learned. My brain exploded.
But there's no candy canes in it.
Okay, but I was thinking peppermint candy cane.
Maybe there is, but with my girl math, I like modify.
Well, yeah, now there's no shot that's in there.
No, there's no candy in there. It goes from like 600 calories to like 100.
Okay, so candy canes is a hit. Look at that.
No, not a hit. I said pass.
Oh, it was a pass. Oh, damn. Back to
Yeah.
the drawing board. Back to
What?
the drawing
Yeah,
board.
back to I said, and it's just like in its form. No, I don't really
Right.
remember the last time I just took a candy cane and ate it.
Thought for sure that tonight was going to be a hit. All right.
No,
All right.
so sorry.
Anyway, enjoy your bye week. I know I am. I know Nikki is. Be sure to check out Wednesday night with the Blonde Blitz. We're going to be back after last week. I was sick. Nikki was hosting Thanksgiving, and Deb was also running down with some sickness. So be sure to check us out on Wednesday night, same channel, at 8 o'clock instead of 8:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. Until next time, go Giants.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.